The Phantom Thieves, those who are trying to reform society and take down all the corrupt adults in it. They basically steal people's hearts by going in there stealing their treasure, causing them to have a change of heart. And they usually do this through a metaverse which goes into your cognition and changes your thinking, takes all your corruptedness away or whatever. But they themselves also had change of hearts, all of them. And so today I'll be talking about how they all had a change of heart, every single member besides Joker, Morgana, and Akechi if you want to count him. I'll save those for other videos. So yes, we'll be talking about the Phantom Thieves, including Kazumi from Persona 5 Royal. So yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, then once you see her pop up, just end the video and come back later. And if you don't really care, then you can just watch it. Hope you guys are ready for the video. Let's talk about the Phantom Thieves. Ryoji Sakamoto, the star of the Shujin track team, or at least that's what he used to be. Ryoji is a kind-hearted idiot that comes from a broken household. He does his best to try to make his mother's life easier, however, life just seems to make that impossible. The volleyball coach, Suguru Kamoshida, brought a swift end to all his success. When Kamoshida started talking about Ryoji's broken household, this caused a fight between them which resulted in Kamoshida breaking his leg. He also then abused and then disbanded the Shujin track team. This caused Ryoji to be labeled as a traitor by his fellow teammates. It was later revealed that Kamoshida planned on breaking his leg from the start in order to keep Ryoji from stealing his spotlight in terms of, his athletic skills in Shujin. So this caused Ryoji to finally give in to his other self. The side of him that has a heart of a rebel. Ryoji had everything taken from him, so since he had nothing left to lose, he had no reason to hold himself back. And so Ryoji ripped off his mask and became who he truly was, which was represented by his persona, Captain Kid. After his awakening, Ryoji sought to fight for justice instead of just simply staying out of situations or doing as he was told. Ryoji has another great moment, and that was inside Shiho's palace, when the Phantom Thieves needed to escape the collapsing palace. Ryoji decided to dash for one last time in order to save the team. He was thought to be dead, but luckily he was blasted out the metaverse just in time. Later on, when Shibuya fused with Mementos, the Phantom Thieves were locked away in the Velvet Room. This caused them to second guess the impact they had on Japan. Ryoji began to revert back to who he used to be, the person who let others stop him from doing what he felt was right, and just getting kicked around and stuff like that. But luckily, Joker inspired him to get back up as a Phantom Thief, and that's when he realized that hey, I don't care what anyone says about me, I just need to do what's right. And, that's when he finally had his change of heart, and he just, changed for the better, thankfully. Ann Takamaki is a half-Japanese model that deeply cares for her friends. Ann, or An, is someone that is viewed as an outcast because of the fact that she not only moves to different countries constantly, but she's also not fully Japanese, so she looks different from the rest of the students. As an outcast, she quickly made friends with a girl named Shiho. However, life didn't get any easier from there. Like Ryoji, Ann was also targeted by Kamoshida, but for her body instead of her athletic abilities. Kamoshida constantly tried to force himself onto her, threatening to also take Shiho out of volleyball regulars. When Ann refused to sleep with Kamoshida, he drove Shiho to the point of attempting suicide. And when this was revealed to her in his palace, Ann realized that there was another way to help Shiho, and that was to take down Kamoshida with her persona, Carmen. Instead of giving herself up for her, she decided to use her strength to save her. However, when she was sent to the Velvet Room, she quickly began to wonder if she should have just stayed out of this. But luckily, she snapped out of it when Joker reminds her that how Shiho needs her and she needs to be strong for her. So of course, Ann learns that she needs to just keep going and she needs to stand strong for Shiho instead of just giving herself up for Shiho. Yusuke Kitagawa is an inspiring artist that yearns to find the true meaning of the painting called Sayori. He was living with his mentor, Madarame, who was a fake artist. Madarame used other artists to fuel his riches. It was revealed that Madarame's most famous piece, Sayori, was actually created by Yusuke's mother. The painting originally showed her looking down at her child, which was Yusuke. However, when Yusuke's mom died, he altered the painting and sold it as his own. This caused Yusuke to stop ignoring the plagiarism and to stand up to his former master. When he was sent to the Velvet Room, he questions why they have been fighting for something that the public doesn't want. And this is when Joker tells him that he needs to fight for his own justice, because even though this isn't what the public believes it wants, it's what they need. One more thing about Yusuke, I don't know if it's just me, but he looks more like an SMT character than everyone else in this game. I don't know why. Just something about his face screams SMT to me. I'm not really sure. I feel like maybe if they dulled his colors a little bit, he could fit in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne or something like that. I don't know why. His design looks really SMT to me. Anyway. Mikoto Nijima is the student president of Shujin Academy. While she may seem like she has the personality of a robot, she's actually the fiercest member of the group. She has major anger issues. Mikoto wasn't exactly the most popular student among her fellow classmates, and this was due to the fact that she didn't stop what Kamoshida was doing even though she knew about it. In reality, Mikoto didn't really have any power in the school. The principal usually just told her what to do and held her on a leash, threatening to take his letter of recommendation and to just keep it away from all the colleges that she wants to apply to. Eventually, she ended up getting the Phantom Thieves to go after a mob boss named Kaneshiro. However, they had to risk being blackmailed if they didn't change his heart. And once they encountered the Shadow Kaneshiro, she gave in to her rage by awakening her true self. At that point, she was done taking orders from anyone, not from the principal or Kaneshiro. She also decided to make it to the university based on her own merit. This is further shown when she was trapped in the Velvet Room. She said that instead of going down the path that someone else chose, that she'll forge her own instead. Futaba Sakura, also known as Medjed, and what was her other name? Oh right, Alibaba. She's also the stepdaughter of the boss himself, Sojiro Sakura. While she may be a super genius, she's also haunted by the death of her mother, Wakabe Ishiki. Wakabe was killed via mental shutdown. However, a fake suicide note was created in order to pass the blame on to Futaba. All of the trauma caused her to not only believe in the lies, but to also develop anxiety and hallucinations. She also became a shut-in, causing her to think of her room as a tomb, since she planned to stay there until she died. Once the Phantom Thieves uncovered the truth, Futaba realizes that her mother loved her and that she didn't kill herself. And from this point onward, she decided to reach out to the truth instead of believing everything that people told her. When she was trapped in the Velvet Room, she talks about how she's changed and how she can't watch people suffer, even though she doesn't know them. While the more literal change of heart helped her think and live more freely, she was the one who decided to find out what really happened to her mother, as well as trying to live a normal life. So yeah, they did go into her heart and change it, but she still made changes on her own, so I think that still deserves some merit. Haruko Moreau, the third-year gardener and daughter of the Big Bang Burger CEO. Unfortunately, she has no control of anything. Literally, she has no control. She even got into an arranged marriage against her will. And it didn't really help that her fiancé wasn't exactly the most likable guy. She ended up running into Morgana, who shared her goal in changing her father's heart. And though she didn't like what her father was doing, she still wasn't sure if she wanted to stand up to him. And when she finally realized that her father would send her off as a plaything, she truly awakened her will to resist her father's commands. When Haru was thrown into the Velvet Room, she feels that after all this time she still couldn't control her life. And Joker tells her that she just needs to keep fighting in order to keep control. If she gives up, then she'll be giving up her control just like the rest of Shibuya, and she'll just end up as a slave to life. So yeah, that's a pretty good lesson. Even if you feel like you don't have control, don't give up. Just keep fighting. and then you'll be like the Phantom Thieves, you know? That's kind of the deal with every Phantom Thief, to be honest. But anyway, alright, so for our final Phantom Thief for today, it's gonna be from Persona 5 Royal. So if you don't want to know about these spoilers, then click off now and come back later. But if you don't really care, then stick around. Alright, so Kazumi, wait, no, my bad, Sumire Yoshizawa is the first year at Shujin Academy that got in because of her talents as a gymnast. Her skills as a gymnast allowed her to receive a scholarship for her entire time in high school. Yeah, you heard me right, you gotta pay in high school for Japan. According to Japan Times, the average tuition that a student paid in 2006 was about 112,000 yen, or about $1,033. An additional tuition was required for cram school, 176,000 yen, or about $1,623 a year. Alright, let's get back over to Sumire though. Sumire needed to keep her grades in the top percentage in order to stay in Shujin. And that didn't help since she already felt an enormous amount of pressure to be perfect, just like her sister, Kazumi. Kazumi, her older sister, was perfect. She was able to handle much of the housework on her own, and her grades were top-notch. This led Sumire to have an inferiority complex, since her sister was better than her in most things. This led to a suicide attempt. However, Kazumi sacrificed herself in order to save her little sister. This guilt affected Sumire, and it caused her to try to be like her sister even more. She copied her appearance and even took her name, and she also tries to act like her as well. I'm going to make a quick detour over to Takuro Maruki, and that guy is basically the counselor that came over to Shujin after the Kamoshida incident in Persona 5 Royal. So he has the ability to rewrite cognitions with his persona, Adam Cadmon, and I'll do a full video on him later, but for now let's go back over to Sumire. So Sumire asks him to change her cognition in order to make her believe that she is Kazumi, and that Sumire was the one that died in the accident. And now she only hears Kazumi whenever someone addresses her. Yeah, and while everyone at school thought that she was Kazumi, she was actually Sumire the entire time. Later on in the game, Joker and Morgana end up going to the metaverse with Kazumi, and she encounters a cognitive version of herself, which ended up attacking her. This causes her to awaken her persona Cendrillon. And when Morgana asked if she wanted to join the Phantom Thieves, she says no, and that she believes that people should be able to help themselves. Later on in the game, once they return to Maruki's palace, memories of what really happened that day cause her to have headaches, and later on her persona goes berserk. She then is reverted back to Sumire, and they leave the palace. And then she tells Joker about how she asked for a change in cognition. She later decides to face her sadness and her guilt on her own instead of just running away from her problems. This causes a true awakening for her persona, and she's given the codename Violet, since Sumire means violet in Japanese. All of her combat abilities change as well, reflecting her change in character. And so yeah, of course Sumire was the biggest one because she was added in Royal, and it's tied to one of the main components in Royal and one of the main huge additions, which is the third semester. And so I'll be doing a video about, you know, Maruki and Sumire and Kazumi and all of the stuff they added in Royal, and of course I'll do a video on the wildcard himself, Joker, and Morgana, and of course Akechi, how they're all connected and all that stuff, and of course Igor and Caroline and Justine, and of course Lavenza. So yeah, I'll be doing all those videos on these characters. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, see you next time.